This is Michael Gerace with Clearview Sewer Cams. It is Monday, May 18th, 2020. We're performing a video sewer inspection. We are located at 5409 Ellenvale Avenue, Woodland Hills, California, 91367. We located a mainline cleanout at the front of the house, and it is to the left of the front entranceway to the front door. We're on the left corner of the house. I'll pause for a moment. Okay, so we're going to begin recording from our 4-inch ABS plastic mainline cleanout. It is toward the right hand side of the house, and it's right in front of the water meter area, or the water regulator and water shutoff valve at the house. We're going to rinse off our camera lens real quick. We're rinsing off the camera lens at the hose bib at the front of the house. And now we're going to show the property. And this is the front entrance way to the house right here. The garage door out toward the front of the street. This is our 4-inch ABS plastic mainline cleanout, and this is our water pressure regulator and hose bib, and this is the right hand side wall with a very large tree next to us. We're going to zero out our camera monitor right here at the entrance to the 4-inch ABS cleanout. This way, when we do mark areas, we will be as close as possible. Okay, so we're going to begin running through the 4-inch ABS plastic mainline cleanout now. And that's a one-way cleanout going toward the street. And the cleanout is comprised of ABS plastic pipe and fittings. And so far the sewer line is also comprised of ABS plastic pipe and fittings. There's a joint right here. It's still intact, but you can see the face of the pipe. You can see the beginning of the other part of the fitting that it's supposed to be pushed into. They only pushed the pipe in a short distance. They did not seat it all the way. And that can be a problem down the line in the future. It probably won't be, but it can, because it should be seated about another inch and a half into the fitting. And then we push down into the next fitting. That pipe also was not pushed all the way into the fitting. Sometimes when people are gluing ABS plastic pipe into the ABS plastic fittings, they don't take into consideration you've got to really put a lot of glue on the fitting, a lot of glue inside on the piping, a lot of glue on the piping, and a lot of glue inside the fitting, and then you have to push in very, very hard and turn just a little bit to seat it all the way properly. Now that fitting is seated deep. You can see the two pieces are butted right next to each other. And that's a joint that is coming in from another inlet. And then we push down a little bit, and the next joint is seated pretty well as well as the other one. A little tiny bit of a dip holding water, a little bit of a belly in the piping. Looks somewhat flat. And it's only a short belly. There's only maybe about 4 to 5 feet maximum, so it's not going to harm anything. We get little dips and bellies in the piping. Now we'll probably have long lengths of ABS plastic pipe and fittings going out toward the street. Don't see any issues with the piping. The next connection is seated pretty deep. Wasn't reamed 100%. You see where there's burrs on the inside of the pipe. When we cut the piping, we try to take a deburring tool or a knife and scrape those burrs out of the pipe. It's not going to really harm anything. It's supposed to be nice and clean, but that's not enough to really catch anything or harm anything. We're going to keep pushing out toward the street now. Okay, got another joint. This one's a little bit short of being seated all the way. Probably a ½ inch from being seated all the way, but still looks to be in pretty fair condition. Next joint seated pretty well, and so is the one joint after that. And now we're transitioning right here. This is at the property line. We're transitioning to more than likely what was and is a vitreous clay sewer line. It's vitreous clay that has been lined with a sewer liner, with a CIPP, cured in place piping sewer liner. You can see the numbers on it. See if I can see how many mil it is. Very difficult to tell exactly. I'll try and blow it up on my laptop and see if I can see. It's a permaliner, which is good material. I would like to see what mil it is, if I can't see what the thickness is. I'll take a look later. I'll go through it real close on my laptop. Usually there are 3 mil, 4 mil, and 5 mil. The higher the mil, the thicker the material. Looks like it might be 5 mil, 0.5, which is a good thickness. That's a very thick liner and keeps you from having a lot of issues. Okay, we only go out to 72 feet. 72 feet and they stop the liner. So we're going to take a look at the rest of it. Pause for a moment. Okay, we're going to continue to push out. We're going to push out to the city sewer. Next joint appears to be in pretty fair condition. A little bit of a separation, not much. No root intrusion that we can see. Next joint, we have a little bit of an offset there. Actually, when we push our camera in, we hit If we push in slow enough, we just hit that joint, and we're trying to push now, and it's got to bounce over it. Little tiny bit of an offset, not anything to be too concerned about. No breaks, no major root intrusions. Next joint, we have a little bit of an offset, a little bit of a separation. Again, minor, not terrible. No major breaks, no root intrusions that we can see. Keep pushing out. Here we do have a very large crack in the bottom that we can see, and a pretty large separation and offset in this joint. Come in, you can start seeing that crack right there in front. It runs over to about the 9 o'clock area, makes like a V shape, and then is running back toward, it looks like the 3 o'clock area or even more. Pretty substantial crack in the pipe. Generally, when a liner is installed, you have to dig up at the property line. You have to dig an area up, and you have to install the liner. It doesn't make a lot of sense to stop short of the city sewer saddle connection, which is the tie-in to the city sewer area. I would go all the way. The best thing is to always go all the way with the liner to the city sewer saddle connection, so you don't miss these areas. Could have lapped right over that and supported that, and that wouldn't be an issue right now, but that is an issue. Could have some major issues with that crack in that break. Then you have another offset right here. I think we're turning and going into the city sewer. We got another area right there has got a considerable offset. Going in some more. Got a little bit of an offset there. Not terrible. You can't lap your liner over this area. This is the saddle area. It would have to be a top hat liner that is installed from the city sewer through the city sewer and pushed back into the homeowner's 6-inch vitreous clay lateral robotically. Here you've got a pretty good crack in the saddle area. You can see it right in front of you, starting down at the bottom toward like the 6 o'clock area and going to the right. Don't know how far it goes, kind of difficult to see. There's some debris buildup there, but I can see the crack in it right there. There's also some chipping and cracking at the bottom of the saddle area. And then the city sewer has been lined. This is a liner in the city sewer. And we are in the city sewer now. That's our city sewer tie-in connection. So we're going to pause here for a moment. We're going to locate this area, find out what the depth is on the city sewer. Okay, we've located the areas up on the property and in the street. And we're just going to go ahead and pull back for a moment. And we're going to take a look. We want to see the exact length of the 6-inch vitreous clay. And then we're also going to determine how much liner we're short. We're going to begin pulling back. So right now we are at 90 feet 4 inches. So approximately 19 feet. Approximately 19 feet right there. We'll come back and we'll just see how long the liner itself is. We've got about 27 feet overall for the 6-inch vitreous clay. We're at 63 feet. You got approximately 72 feet. So they shot about 9 feet of liner in instead of shooting it all the way to the city sewer tie-in connection, which is always recommended. This way you cover the entire 6-inch vitreous clay lateral. The cost is in digging up the sewer line at the 4 to 6 inch connection anyways, and it's not that much more expensive to shoot the rest of the way to shoot that other 20 feet in. But it should have been shot in. So you've got about another 20 feet that needs to be shot. 18 to 20 feet. I'm just going to run back out to the 6-inch vitreous clay city lateral tie-in connection for the city sewer. Then we're going to pull back and we're going to show the homeowner. We got a substantial offset separation there. Not terrible, but it's pretty good size offset. Another offset here, which we're butting up against. Don't see any major cracks or breaks right there. We come up to this next joint at approximately 88 feet. At about 88 feet, we've got our major crack right here at 88 feet. And then we have a substantial offset right here at about 89, 10 to 90 feet right in there. We got a little bit of a pretty good separation right here as well. This is at the saddle area. We've got a crack right there at the saddle area and a chip at the end. You can see where that's chipped out. So we have a pretty good crack right there from about the 6 o'clock area, and then going back up to about the 1 o'clock area, and then also coming back toward us a little bit. There's a crack coming back toward the 5 o'clock area. It's like a Y shape. So we're going to pause for a moment now, and we're going to show the homeowner on the way back and have them take a look at everything. I'm going to pause our mic for now.